Super stoked to share my thoughts and review and demo of the Trevit Smartwatch. So we'll be doing an unboxing and going through everything. I'll show you measurements, the look, the feel. I'm going to use it for a week, show you all the things that I love, things that are different from other smartwatches that I've used. So let's jump into the unboxing right now. Okay, as we jump into the unboxing, the weight is 106 grams. It's got an AMOLED screen. The display size is 1.97 inches, so almost 2 inches, and then it's 320 by 382 pixels. It is a touchscreen, and it is a full casing material. So right out of the box, you get thank you for your order. You get a keychain. I love that this is small business and that they've gone the extra mile to basically put everything in here. You've got a QR code that you can reach out to, leave a review. I love this, right? You are capable. Keep going. Love it. So then you're going to have a instruction guide. Pretty easy, pretty simple. You can kind of walk through this. I will point out some other things later, how you can connect to the app through Bluetooth. This does work on iOS, and I want to make sure I tell you the right version. So it is iOS 9 and then Android 4.5. You've got a metal charger with a USB on one side. And then I opted for synthetic band. I'm not synthetic silicone. I don't love leather. You can see here I have metal. So I'm actually going to be swapping this one out for this guy. And this is the GTS7 Pro version here. And I'm just going to check under here. I don't think there's anything under here. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to give it a charge and kind of walk through everything. But initial kind of turn on thoughts. I just want to show you the screen. So I'm going to walk you through the setup now. I'm going to select our, you can see right here, there's the Run Me Fit from the Google Play Store. So we'll connect out a little bit later and I'll show you what that looks like on the phone side of things. You can scan the QR code there to pair. And there is just our home screen right there. So we have this little bezel right here that we can twist, which is nice. You can also push this bezel. So this will go up and down on your screens. You can also use swiping. So we'll go through all of these and I'll show you kind of the weather and after everything we get connected to the phone. I'm imagining that you can have different setups as far as all of your apps. So I'll show you again. This is a first look, right? So I'm going to use this for a week and come back and add different thoughts. You can see as I'm scrolling right here, there's a little scroll bar that kind of shows me where I'm at in that scroll. It's that little white dot as I scroll up and down through the different menus. So there's your main menu. So we're going to give it a charge and come back, get it connected to the phone and go from there. Okay, so we have now connected our watch to the app. So we've downloaded the app. There's a QR code. It pairs everything. It's connected to Bluetooth. You can see right here, I have not renamed my device, but I wanted to just walk through the mobile part of the watch and the app and what you can see. So you have these faces galleries. If you wanted to go more, you could go, sporty, you could go more simplistic, you could go minimalist, you could go business, so mechanical. Anyway, there's a bunch of different versions here that you have. There's scenery, and I'm just going to go here, and then what you'll do is you'll just download it. So as this downloads, you can't see the watch right now, but it's showing that it's downloading basically a new scene or a new face. Once you have them downloaded, it'll go to your face library and you can kind of switch those back and forth. It does take a few seconds, right, because it's connecting and downloading from the internet and sending it over through Bluetooth. So now that my watch is updated with the correct time and everything, I'm going to go back to the app so you can see here. So you can see if I go to I have now options that I've downloaded. So the refreshing one is one, and then the use multiple function. And so there's a little check mark here, as you see as I go through there. So as I can do that. So you can add event reminders, health reminders. So, it'll buzz every time you've been sitting. You can time all of these. So, maybe depending if you work in an office or whatever, every 2 minutes, every 3 minutes, whatever, you can set that. You can have a drink water reminder, which was really cool. I haven't seen that on a lot of other devices. That I've used, that have come through, that I've reviewed. So this is the first one I've seen where it has a water reminder. I have one on my phone, but I haven't had one on any of the other watches. So that's a big plus here. So you can go in and then do a ton of different things on your actual device. A lot of these things you can do from the watch itself. And so because this is a review about the watch, not the app, I want to jump over back to the watch, show you the user interface, some things that I really, really like about it. Some things that I thought were really unique to this version, right? This Trevit Smartwatch that I have not seen on other watches that I reviewed. So let's jump back over to the watch and just show you some of those things after my week of use. So let's jump into some of the details of the Trevit watch. I really like some of these things for this smartwatch. Some of the way that they've done the infinite scroll, which I'll show you, some of the setups, some of the hotkeys. So just as far as the watch itself, you've got the charging right here on the back again. We showed this earlier, but this is the GTS7 Pro. You have this bezel here, which is also a button. So when you push this in, this basically turns it on and lights it up. But you can also bezel this when you get to screens that have that option. So you can see we've talked about changing the face. I've done this at different times. So we've got all my information here, the battery life, the steps, the heartbeat, stuff like that. When I click on this little tiny button right down here, this is going to go straight to workout mode or sports mode. So it's almost like a hotkey to get to tons of different activities that you can do. You can also add custom ones. So if you do like a morning routine or a morning workout or whatever, you can add that and just go to that custom one. So this is a hotkey, and you'll notice as I'm scrolling up and down with my finger, but I can also use this right here, which doubles as a button, which we talked about just a few seconds ago. So let's talk about some of the screens and some of the things that I really, really like. So this is an infinite scroll screen. So when we scroll to the right, it's going to give us our music options, our exercise steps, activity options, and then our weather, different things like that. You can see days, time, all of that stuff there, sunset. But then the infinite scroll. So currently on the watch I have now with a bezel, when I go around, it stops at the end and I have to go all the way back. It does not have an infinite scroll. That is the one thing that I absolutely love about this Trevit smartwatch is the infinite scroll. So when we slide up, we get to our notifications. So clearly I don't have any notifications here. This would be text messages, voicemails, different things like that. And when we get back to our home page, when we scroll down like this is kind of all of our settings. We can change our brightness here like that. We also have the settings, which we can go through and change a lot of different things. We can change display, battery saving. We can go 24-hour time mode. I do need to change the display. So you can change the right there, vibration sound. So I'm going to go back to display and see if I can change timeout, screen timeout, and I'm going to make this go a little bit longer. So we're going to go 20 seconds. So I purposely changed that while you were here so you could see that. We have a nightlight mode, we have screen timeout, so there's wrist wake, so this will auto wake up at different times. If you have alarms, different things like that. We have sounds, shortcut buttons. So I can actually change this shortcut button to whatever I want. And this is the little button that we had here earlier. So if I wanted it to go straight to my heart rate, if I wanted it to go straight to sleep, notifications, however we wanted to do that, this button right here is where we could do that. And that hotkey button, I really like that option to basically change that. We can have a favorite buttons. We can do workout settings. This is where you could do your weight, your height, change all of that. This is your do not disturb. Here, when it's connected to the phone, it'll tell you here. This is basically about your phone, your restart, your power off here. So a lot of different options just in this settings screen. But when we get back here, I really like that you can actually change your display if you want it in list view or grid view. So when we go with grid view, it's going to look like, let me get back to it, apologies. So it's going to look like this. So this is the grid view you saw here. I just double push on the round button and the grid view goes here. So this is the grid view. Let me show you again what the list view looks like. And here's list view. And there's list view. So it's basically all of these apps that you have on your phone in a list instead of a grid. So I haven't played around a lot. I do like the list view just because of the way that I do things. But so a couple of things about the knop, right? Or the crown, is that we're calling this. This is the crown. It has multiple functions. So to switch back and forth between just your common display and your list, you just hit that. And again, we have the option when we're in any sort of list view. This is anything on the phone, and you can't hear it, but there is a buzzing every time I turn it, and I can sense that in my watch. I love the hotkey button, and this is customizable, which I showed earlier. So I'm going to use this for a week, get back, show you, and talk about some of my favorite parts about this. And you might be thinking, oh, this looks like an Apple Watch. Well, if you look at the mission of Trevit and why they started this company, is they wanted to bring a cheaper, more affordable version for people that can't spend $299 on a watch. So if you're looking to get into the watch game, this is probably the best option for you. I'm going to use this for a week. Every day we'll come back and tell you some of my favorite things. I'll turn the camera around so you can see me, and why this will probably replace the watch that I currently use. So final thoughts on the Trevit Smartwatch. I think the idea behind the company and the owner, small business, is to bring you a high-powered, high-end watch without the high-end, high-powered price, right? Does all of the same things that these high-end smartwatches do, including the previous watch that I'm now going to replace with this one, having used it for a week. Some of the things that I really, really like are the hotkeys, right? So no watch that I've ever had before has had a hotkey where I can just press on something, and I can customize that depending on what I'm doing. So on my employment, I have a season where work is a little bit busier than others, and so I can change that hotkey depending on the season. The make, the model, everything as far as this is concerned is high-end. I want to give you some specifics that I might have missed in the intro. As far as the watch is concerned, it's IP68 waterproof. Your uptime or your battery life, if you're going full use, audio, workouts, different things like that, it's going to be about 5 days. If you just do kind of a standard user watch where you're not doing a lot of workouts, a lot of music, a lot of talking, Bluetooth, stuff like that, it's going to be about 10 days. And if you're in standby mode, you're looking at 45 days. Charge time was incredible. It automatically stops charging. So if you're somebody that like sets it on, when they go to sleep at night. I love the customization of the alerts, the notification. I can have some things ring, some things buzz. I really liked the fit, so I did go with silicone. They do the silicone band. They do have other bands that you can get. They have leather and metal. And I think ultimately for me too, when I buy a product, it's also connected to the mission and the owner, and I love small business, right? I am a small business owner myself, and so I love supporting other small businesses. So it's not just, oh, I'm gonna go get this or this or this. It's if you're looking for a company that you want to support in and to help grow with a great product, I think the Trevit watch is for you. If you are interested in buying one, there'll be a link below with a 15% discount, and that's going to be Mr. Campbell 15. You can get a 15% discount on your first Trevit watch. I appreciate you so much for watching. Thank you.